Hey guys, welcome back to City 94 channel. I'm Luke and I'm here with Joe, and today we'll be discussing City's striker situation going into 2022 and discussing all the options available. Let's get into the video. Right onto the first option, Erling Haaland. Manchester, over the summer, Manchester City tried to get Harry Kane, but of course, didn't happen. And once again, were forced on FC. So, according to Zishan, Manchester City will not resume the pursuit of Harry Kane in January or into New Year, and will now go all in for Erling Haaland. Apparently, City will schedule a meeting with Haaland's camp to convince them that they are the best option. And Sport Witness also follows that up with the same as what Zishan said. Man City have now turned their full attention to Erling Haaland. Thoughts on this myself? Yeah, he's honestly, I feel like he's the best option that City can have. Really, I mean, he's just. I know, obviously, there's other options that we could go for, like Vlahovic, or obviously we'll go on to him later on in the video, but. Haaland is the striker that would genuinely make this team, I think, invincible. I know not everyone's invincible, but generally, going forward, we would literally be scoring so many goals a game. I wouldn't be worried about it being clinical at all. He's the player that I think everyone wants. I think for us to get him it'd be ideal. But obviously, you could take everything that is said here with a pinch of salt, as we found out over the summer. Just the news wasn't always perfect, but I feel like this. I feel like there's an element of truth in this of us going for Haaland. I think going on to what Andreas Corsan says here in another tweet, City will be ready to sign Erling Haaland once his release clause becomes active, and City will hold talks with Raiola in January to discuss their plans. So, yeah, I do imagine that there's an element of truth into this, but I think it's all just about taking it with a pinch of salt and hoping it is true. But yeah, I just hope this is true. Joe, what do you think, mate?
Well, we've got two tweets, two of the three tweets that we've got in front of us say that we're going to schedule a meeting with his camp. One says Raiola directly, one just says his camp, which you would assume includes Raiola because it's his agent. So there must be some truth in it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have multiple similar or same reports. I do believe we will not try and go for Harry Kane again. I think that one's dead in the water. I don't think we'll try and go for that one again. I think that's done now. It was, the summer just gone or never really. He'll probably end up at United in a couple of years after Ronaldo, but he's ideal. He's the big fix. He's young, up and coming, but he's already proven in, the Bundesliga, in Europe, in the Champions League. He's got regular Champions League football, so he's just the ideal, he's not really a direct Aguero replacement because he's a different player, but he is that, player that we are currently, you could say, missing. The squad is good enough, of course, because we did win last season, but you just think if we had someone like a Haaland, like you said, we'd almost be unstoppable. It would be frightening.
It would be, yeah. And look, no matter what striker we go for, it'll cost money. And every club will know that we're after a striker and will charge the high fee. But I think with Haaland's release clause, and obviously there's wages you've got to sort out, but I don't think that'll be an issue for us. Obviously, yeah, what Real demanding is different, but I feel like that we can sort of have hopefully with talks in January, we can sort of dissect what exactly he wants, and hopefully we can sort of sort out a deal where we can actually get him for next summer. Because if we get Haaland next summer, that is, I think, our striker for the next 5 years. I'm not saying the rest of his career because he might want to move on, but I do think he'll spend a large amount of his career at City. I think that is where this is the one that I think everyone wants. Realistically, he's just the player that would be a fan. He'd be a fan favorite. I think almost immediately. He gets the club. He obviously supporting the club, and obviously with his dad playing for them, and also growing up supporting the club as well. It just feels like the move that I think everyone expects to happen. Everyone sort of thinks it's going to happen, and I hope it does anyway. Right on to the next option here, and Dusan Vlahovic has been linked with City. Well, not linked with City, but talks over a new contract have collapsed between Vlahovic and Fiorentina, according to Fabrizio Romano himself. Obviously, it's not a confirmed link with City, but obviously it's it's going to be a link already with us needing a striker. So, I mean, for me, for Vlahovic, I feel like he's one of those players that would be a gamble. And that is, I know any striker we get is a gamble anyway, but particularly this one, considering we only have one season, a full season at what he delivered for Fiorentina, is a gamble because there's no guarantee that he'll do that in the Premier League. There's no guarantee that he'll do it again this year. It's all a lot of yeah, it's a gamble basically, and I do worry that if we do go for someone like Nunes or Vlahovic, they won't deliver what we need. Obviously, we can go full nine. Obviously, we've got the creative players around that can score goals as well. But having a striker and a striker system along with a full nine system would definitely help going forward next season. And I feel like for me that yeah, I don't really want Vlahovic. I'm not saying he's not either good enough, but I'm skeptical about him coming in and delivering what we need. What do you think, Joe?
I'm more skeptical because if you look at the price tag being thrown about, it's actually more than Haaland's release clause. Well, guaranteed, yes, he'd almost certainly be on lower wages and wouldn't be on the high signing bonuses. He's also not as good, but I mean, it's kind of hard when you're comparing it to Haaland. I've watched him a couple of times. I watched him a couple of times for Serbia. I haven't watched him for Fiorentina. I've seen he's a good penalty taker, which we all know we kind of need one of those, but personally, in my opinion, I don't think he's all that. I don't think he's, the solution. I think it's a we'd be very much overpaying if we were to be paying that, 80 million euros or, however much they want. I know his new contract, I think the stalling point over it was he wanted a release clause in it because I think he wanted like his future set where if a club came in, he would be allowed to leave if they met the price tag. So I think that was the one, stalling point, the one point that got, contract talks ended. So I don't think his current deal has a release clause in it. I don't know when it ends, but I just can't see City paying that much money for someone like Vlahovic. I think they'd rather pay that or less for someone. Like, I'd rather pay less for Nunes or someone like that because, it's still a risk going for Nunes in that role to be the number one striker, but at least you won't be paying, that much, like an 80 million euros. So personally, obviously, if he did come in, I'd back him because you have to back the players that come in and play for the club. Yeah. But personally, he's not on my list of strikers that I'd sign. He's not close to the top anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, again, as I said a number of times, it's a gamble. It's a gamble of paying that high fee for a player who's only had one good season so far. Like, obviously, it was like a Haaland where he did it for the last 2 or 3 years, roughly 2 years, 3 years, roughly. Then you obviously you have to be vindicated in paying the fee. But right now, City need proven, not upcoming. Like, obviously, Haaland is upcoming, but you can see already, like 21 years old, not far 22 years old, New Year or something, or this year. He's already the main. He's already the big deal already. It's just for me, it's a no-brainer to go all out for Haaland. Obviously, we need to go for a backup if he doesn't go to us. Then obviously fair enough, Nunes or Vlahovic. But it just right now what we don't need is the gamble. We need to bring in someone, a proven goal scorer who's going to fire into goals for us, especially going into maybe next season where Chelsea, Liverpool, United might improve their squads even more, especially around Europe as well. Obviously, PSG losing Mbappe to Real Madrid possibly. So it's all about bringing in the next big player like a Haaland to get us, ready going into the next couple of years where the competition will definitely improve. And yeah, it's a big, this season especially is a big moment for City. I think this is definitely decided that we need to move forward. Right, that's it for today's video. Make sure to comment below on who you like City to sign going forward next season at striker. Make sure to like and subscribe. 5 subscribers away from 400. And yeah, thank you for watching. Cheers, guys.